Hello there, and welcome to episode 3 of this amazing randomized battle in the demo for Task Force Admiral. A lot has happened already. 2 enemy attack waves have hit my fleet, with both of them landing hits on the carrier Lexington. Even though the bomb hits looked horrifying, the damage control teams have managed to keep the carrier operational. It is even able to recover and launch aircraft. My hope is that in due time the damaged systems can be repaired and the carrier be restored to its full efficiency. The carrier Yorktown, on the other hand, miraculously survived both attack waves without receiving a single direct bomb hit, although the near misses rattled her badly and caused light damage to her hull. For now she remains fully operational, and her attack planes actually managed to sink one Japanese aircraft carrier that was earlier disabled by a strike from Lexington. Losing one carrier is a huge blow to the enemy fleet that now only has one other carrier remaining. But what good is a carrier if it can't launch any planes? The enemy bombers that participated in the 2 attack waves against my fleet have been savaged by our fighters, which relentlessly pursued them on their way home and shot down many of them. But even in his weakened state, the enemy must not be underestimated. Our cruiser force has split off from the carriers to pursue and engage the enemy fleet gun to gun. Suddenly, they found themselves under attack by a small group of enemy bombers. The cruiser Minneapolis, in an effort to evade the enemy bombs, turned very hard to port. So hard, in fact, that the right side submerged. Hatches had been left open, water rushed in, the cruiser capsized and sank within seconds. Now the battle continues. With another strike package on the way to the enemy fleet, it is only a matter of time until we can cause more devastating losses. Who will sink the enemy carrier first? Will it be our planes or our cruisers that are closing in? Grab yourself some popcorn, relax and enjoy the show. It is now 1:30. The torpedo bombers down there have just dropped their torpedoes. I very much doubt that they'll hit anything because the carrier is going very fast and will maneuver violently to avoid the attack. But we will follow the dive bombers as they are racing towards their target. That carrier down there. With a bit of luck, we are finishing the battle right here with some good and massive hits on target. I'm looking down at the carrier just to see if I can spot any impacts from torpedoes, but as I said, highly unlikely. The American torpedo bombers are just dropping their torpedoes from so far out that the carrier has plenty of time and opportunity to evade them. And even if the torpedoes should hit by some miracle, they can be defective, they can be duds. These early American torpedoes are just not good. This year, however, the dive bombers, they are far more accurate. I expect the carrier to start a violent turn any moment. But we are now going in. And you know what we'll do? Let's watch it from the cockpit perspective. This is proper terrifying. There is the carrier. Anti-aircraft fire is racing up to meet us. Controls are getting stiff. Bombs are splashing. On target, on target. We got hits on target. Let's switch to the rear gunner. Oh my god, look at this blanket of bombs. I think we scored 1 hit. There's 1 fire burning on the carrier. Now, even though this is a very accurate delivery method for the time. Dive bombers, I mean. It's still not accurate enough. It still can miss, especially if the target is maneuvering. And in this case, yeah, the target did maneuver. The target did evade. But let's have a look at the target. It's looking rough. It's looking very rough. I see some damage on the hull. I don't think those were torpedo hits. My guess is that those were bombs detonating close to the hull. Doing some damage. This carrier has received a direct hit into one of the elevators. So that elevator is out of action. At least for a while. Do I see any torpedo wakes? No, I don't. Don't think so. No, I do not. So my guess is the torpedoes have all missed. But it's fine, we got one solid hit in. The carrier will have been damaged. It maybe will have to slow down because of this. And that's an opportunity that we will exploit later. Maybe even with my ships that are getting close. Let's have a quick look at the tactical situation here. So the enemy carrier is screened by 2 cruisers and a few destroyers. I don't necessarily want to get into a gun duel with the enemy cruisers. I would like to engage the enemy carrier though. Maybe I'll just head my force south now and try to overtake this enemy force and somehow get at the enemy carrier. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing. Surface fleet. Oh, you already... I gave you a waypoint? Did I now? Whose waypoint is this? 1311. Is that the... I think that's the aircraft. Okay, my surface group has received a waypoint. And I hope they are turning towards it. So far the formation still keeps... Yeah, they're now turning. Okay. Good, 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 good. I don't want them to get too close to the enemy, so I hope they make this turn really nice and snappy. I will have to keep an eye on this. The red area that you can see here on the map now, that is my main gun battery range. So getting the enemy inside that envelope might be a good thing. But we will have to be careful here. I think those Japanese cruisers are nothing to sneeze at. I don't think so. I think they might be quite strong and I want to avoid unnecessary damage, especially after losing one of my cruisers to nothing really. Still salty about that. Let's have a quick look at Yorktown now. Yorktown might have just finished recovering her strike. I think so. So now might be a good time to send out another. But let me first have a quick look at the... oh, wrong button. Let me have a first a quick look at the reports. Where is the naval strike en route? Why does it say en route? The strike that is currently... Wait, what? The strike that is currently attacking the enemy force is from Lexington. Yorktown's strike has returned home. Why does it still say en route? Maybe they are waiting on some missing aircraft? I'm not sure. But never mind. We are gonna plan a new strike. So, pick a target and add the aircraft. Let's add the aircraft first. I will send out a big strike once again. But I'll keep it at 1 deck load only. Yeah, we're at 2 deck loads now. Let's have a quick look if I change some things around. Yeah, this works. Okay, up to a point it works. This is okay. Can I send a few escorts? I can. Can send. Let's send 6 escorts. Deferred departure. Target will be, of course, the enemy fleet. And they will be there at about 3 o'clock. Now, if the enemy keeps heading this way, that will be fine. If they turn around, it won't be. I think I want to change the target to just an area here, and they will then pick up the fleet as they see it. 1 deck load, deferred departure, so everybody's gonna go in one big wave. Let's greenlight the strike. Yorktown will finish preparations at about 2 o'clock. Then the aircraft will start to launch. Good. Let us once again skip ahead a little bit until something important happens again. Maybe until my surface group starts engaging the enemy. See you soon. Half past 3. My torpedo bombers are diving down, crossing over the enemy escorts. There's a destroyer down there, I believe, blasting away at us, but Japanese anti-aircraft fire is... it's not that great. They are doing their best, but their best is not good enough. And the enemy carrier is over there. You see, we just passed right next to that destroyer. No problem. Over there we see the Japanese cruisers. Looks like some of my torpedo bombers are passing. Oh wow, this is dangerous. This is actually dangerous. Now they are shooting. The cruisers can put up a lot of fire. But we are past. We are past and we are starting the turn towards the carrier. Here we go. Here we go. Going in. Looks like we are attacking from 2 directions. Some torpedo bombers over there where we can see anti-aircraft fire in the distance, and the others from this side. A nice cross drop. With a bit of luck. Actually with a lot of luck. We might get a hit in. The problem is that my torpedo bombers tend to drop from so far out. The American pilots, they need more experience at this point. It's pretty nerve-wracking to head towards a huge mass of steel bristling with anti-aircraft guns and just shooting at you all the time. Torpedoes are away. Let's have a look at the other ones. Coming from the rear of the carrier. Bold strategy. A bold strategy indeed. But you know the carrier is turning. Maybe this is the right idea. Just create a cross stop, make it very hard for the carrier to evade all of the torpedoes. These torpedoes were actually dropped quite close. You know what? We might want to take a look at this. There could be some success had here. The enemy carrier will find it very difficult to dodge all of this that's coming at it. But I think I hear dive bombers approaching. Indeed I do, so let's take a look at the proceedings from their perspective. If there are torpedo impacts, we will see them. And this time we are gonna take this view. this is awesome. Oh my god. I see the torpedo wakes, they are going to hit, some of them. Oh, one just passed the stern, but one at least is going to hit. There's an impact. And now come the bombs. And we do have hits on target, we do have hits on target. Plenty of hits on target. I see more torpedo wakes. The cross drop worked. Let's watch like this. I think that's another impact right there. She might be going down. This might be enough to sink her. The stern is suddenly very deep in the water. Massive amounts of flooding. She's going down. That's it. This thing is slipping beneath the waves. I think we did it. I think we won. I think we actually won. Goodbye. You are going down. Another one. Gone. I think I hear more dive bombers. As cruel as it is, I think they're gonna bomb it again. Just out of spite. Yeah, they are. Is that a war crime? I'm not sure. But what it is a beautiful sight of this carrier slipping beneath the waves. Two out of two. Both carriers sunk. I'm surprised the scenario didn't end, to be honest. Or maybe I can continue to take apart the enemy fleet a bit. That could be interesting. Lexington is currently still recovering aircraft. I think we do have time for one more strike before the day ends. We might do that. We might send another strike from Lexington to go after the enemy cruisers. Really drive the point home, you know? Oh man, but this carrier, these torpedoes, they are not good, and the torpedo bombers, they aren't good either. The Devastator torpedo bomber was not good and is not good in this game. But when they do hit, and when they hit in numbers, they can do ridiculous amounts of damage, as you have just seen. Especially when they're accompanied by a whole salvo of bombs, penetrating the deck and detonating inside the ship. Huge, huge damage dealt. And then carrier down. Excellent, excellent result. Lexington, how are things looking? You are still recovering. This is gonna take some time. Yorktown, do you have any aircraft on board, or did I send everyone out? I think I sent oh, you do have some. You know what, I might just send these guys. Those must be scouts that have returned to the carrier. So let's use the opportunity. Yorktown, you are gonna send out a strike at the enemy fleet. Your target is this one. You are gonna send out all of your 8 dive bombers. I mean, yeah, might as well send the escorts, and we are not gonna need them, but you know, what the hell. Just go. Greenlight this. Let's have them leave as soon as possible. Very nice. Very nice indeed. My surface group, by the way, is up here. They are currently closing the distance. The enemy fleet tried to run away, but that hope, I mean, might now be shattered. Still, I don't want to have a too aggressive posture. Let's turn a little bit and skirt the enemy formation. If I can get 1 or 2 more strikes in to weaken them before my ships move in, that would be the smart play. Getting rid of one of the cruisers, or maybe both, that would certainly be the smart play here. Good. Let's have my aircraft return to fleet. And if the scenario doesn't just end, then we'll see each other again when the next strike is coming in, or when the enemy forces an encounter. That's possible. See you in a few moments. Things are continuing to happen. My ships will soon be in gun range of this enemy heavy cruiser. They will more or less pass by and deliver a few shots while they're doing so. I don't want them to get decisively engaged with the enemy, as long as I didn't get the chance to weaken them with aircraft. The aircraft that have been sent over are on their way and will be here soon. And Lexington has finished recovering her strike. I will use this opportunity to... Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell my carrier force to head this way. And I'm gonna launch more strikes from Lexington. But this time I will not launch one massive strike. I will launch multiple smaller consecutive strikes. Why do I do that? Well, if I launch one big strike, I think all of the aircraft will focus on one target. If I launch multiple consecutive strikes, they will hopefully take out one ship, and the next strike will then pick the next one in line to be attacked. So I want to launch strikes with dive bombers, I think about 6 each, in multiple attack waves. Do I have enough time for that? Let me check. Best possible date, 1627. Could work. Or you know what, let's go for 9 dive bombers. We'll go for up to 9 dive bombers per strike. Let's throw in a few escorts for good measure. And that's gonna be it for the first attack wave. Target has been set. Everything else can stay as it is. Let's green light this strike. Now, let's create a new strike. Next squadron, send up 9 dive bombers. A few escort fighters, just in case. Pick a target, that one. And you will send out this strike. Green light it. Strike! You see where this is going, right? A few dive bombers. A few escorts. Let's pick the target. And... green light. Oh, they will have a lot of fun. Now, how about that gun range? Yeah, I think almost there. And if we take a quick look at Lexington, we should now see preparations. Yeah, they are starting to prepare the flight deck. Good, that is going to take some time, but then afterwards it should go... everything should go a little bit faster. That's my hope at least. Yorktown, she's awaiting her aircraft to return. And maybe we'll get some of them turned around too. But this is quite a nice plan. Let's have a look at my surface ships. Is anybody training their guns on the enemy yet? That's a no so far. But that's okay. We don't need to worry. They'll be in range soon enough. And then we'll give the enemy a good show. So, let's continue to close the distance as much as we can, while not getting decisively engaged. As I said, the aircraft that are incoming, they are soon here. I need to turn a little bit more towards the enemy. This is good. This should bring us into gun range. Get us a few passing shots at somebody. The first strike is sent from Yorktown, I believe, with about 6 aircraft or so. 6 dive bombers and some escorts. And they will soon be here. So let's jump ahead a few minutes until they arrive. Well, I just received a message. Admiral, our forces seem to have disengaged with the enemy. Do you wish to stay in the flag plot, or shall we head for debriefing and combat assessment? Thank God that we now have this option to continue the battle. I am going to continue because the enemy is going to suffer. Currently the situation, the enemy is steaming away at full speed, barely keeping out of my gun range. But now the aircraft are coming in for the strike. And, well, the enemy will have to try to evade. There's no way around it. Yeah, that's a nice strike with a few torpedo bombers on top, huh? Nice. Is it? No, that's the returning one. Must be this one, yeah. These are the guys. Yes, they are. Good. Very good. Soon. General quarters sounded on the New Orleans. Let's have a look. Does that mean the guns are swinging out? No. Just that combat is imminent. Let's go to Chester up here. Nothing. Let's go to Dewey at the flank of our formation. She's on the flank, and I think from her deck we might be able to see the enemy. There, over there, on the horizon. And there. There and there. 2 big ships, 2 big cruisers. By the way, dear developers, it seems to me as if the globe in this game does not have a curvature. Ships are not disappearing behind the horizon. Is that the case, or are my eyes deceiving me? If that is the case, I would very much like for you to implement that at some point. But please make it a realistic curvature of the Earth. Do not do what the U-boat devs did and make the Earth much smaller and the curvature much closer to the ship than it needs to be. Oh, up there's the destroyer. Okay, 3 Japanese ships remaining. 3 Japanese ships remaining. Thankfully, no fire coming our way. Yet. At the same time, none of our ships are shooting yet. But we are getting there. I think we are running them down, and they will have to start evasive maneuvers now. Or very soon, in just a few minutes. Good. A strike package from Lexington is on the way. Nice. We are now just going to pummel them. Again and again and again and again. Let's jump ahead a little bit. My aircraft are almost above the enemy fleet. Over there, right over there, is my cruiser line. And the destroyer on the flank is already receiving enemy fire. He is within enemy gun range. My cruisers should be in gun range in just a few minutes. Down there is the enemy. You maybe can't see them because of the sun, but there's one ship here, another one there, and that's all that I can see right now. The dive bombers, all 8 of them, are almost in position to turn in and head for the enemy ships. Oh, there's one. Right there, that's a cruiser. We are receiving light anti-aircraft fire. Nothing significant yet. But we are tightening up the formation. Dive bombers are ready to go in. I wonder which target they will choose. Yeah, the anti-aircraft fire is getting heavier. Okay, looks like we're going. Some of us are going. Oh, that's actually the 2 enemy cruisers right here in front of us. So everybody else should now be turning as well. Yeah, they're starting their turns. Which one are we going for? Guess the front one. All dive bombers have now turned in and are approaching their target. There's one. Is everybody going for one target? I think so. And that is why I am staggering the strikes from Lexing. I don't want to send all airplanes against one single target. I'd rather wear down multiple targets. Over there, a destroyer is evading. Evasive maneuvers. Yeah, looks like the cruiser is starting evasive maneuvers as well. He's turning. But the dive bombers are now coming in. Can't be helped, and the approach of this one isn't looking bad. It's looking quite decent actually. A little bit more to the left. Scratch that. This is fine. This is not a bad drop. Ooh, just long. Just a bit long. The cruiser is defending itself, of course, but more dive bombers are now coming in. These two are missing horribly. The other ones? Well, no hit on target right now, so far. That's a big ship with many guns. One set of bombs came close, but this really wasn't what I was looking for. Let's get out of here. The next attack waves are coming. But at the very least, this should have brought them into range. Let's have a quick look at the Dewey. Dewey is receiving fire. You can see splashes behind it. Is any one of my cruisers opening up yet? Not yet. Not... well, Chester is raising her guns. So maybe soon. But she is so far alone in that. The other cruisers are not there yet. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, the enemy is just on the edge of our range. Increase our speed. 30 knots. Oh, look at that. Astoria has been damaged. That's not good. How did that happen? Aren't you in the back of the formation? Well, not all the way back, but pretty far back. What damaged you? Not sure. Maybe you were damaged from the get-go and I just didn't notice? Not sure. Really not sure. Oh no, that's the New Orleans. Where's the Astoria? Astoria is back here. All the way in the back, lagging behind the formation. Not receiving any fire. So I really wonder what damaged you. No idea. What is damaged on this thing? Engines are damaged. Is something modeled like that if you run the engines at maximum speed for too long they might get damaged? That would be the only thing that I can think of that might have caused damage here. Chester guns raised but not shooting yet. Meanwhile, Dewey is still under fire, but the enemy's ranging is quite terrible. Thankfully. Enemy formation almost in range. And more strikes are on the way. Lexington has finished launching the final strike that it has. So I'm now going to send out another one. Didn't I send out this one? Not sure. Let's go and get them. And once Lexington has launched that strike, she will go ahead and launch torpedo bombers. Let's do 9 and then we'll do 6. Pick a target, which will be of course the enemy fleet. Green light. And a new strike from Lexington. Once again, 6. Go for that. Green light. So Lexington will remain busy launching aircraft. I wonder what Yorktown is up to. Yorktown is probably, yeah, she's soon going to recover the aircraft that are now returning from the north. They first headed up here, where they were supposed to rendezvous with the aircraft carrier. Discovered he's not there, and now they're heading down here. Good. Very good. Oh, the enemy fleet made a little turn. Are they trying to get away from me, or are they heading towards me? No, they're heading away. Adjust the waypoint. Let's finally get guns on. Chester guns raised, but that's it. Nobody else is shooting it. While Dewey remains under fire. Yeah, thankfully the enemy's ranging is still terrible, but it's also a pretty long distance that they have to shoot here at a fast little destroyer. So I'm not too surprised. Yeah, we are turning. And looks like the guns on New Orleans are turning towards the enemy. Maybe we are about to open up. But keep in mind, ship combat in the demo is just a placeholder. In particular, the sounds are really just placeholders. They often are not even there. So we are now gonna see rounds leaving the tubes, but we might not hear anything. Come on. Reloading and shoot. Yeah, no sound is played. These big guns often don't seem to have sound files attached to them yet. But New Orleans is shooting. Chester still isn't, although she's at the front of the formation. I would have expected her to open up. Portland, not yet in range. That's gonna be soon, because she's following after the New Orleans. And Astoria way in the back, she's not in range yet. But New Orleans has opened up. So the enemy is now under fire, and soon more aircraft will arrive. I have 1 more hour of daylight. I'm not sure if it will be enough to recover the strike from Yorktown and send some aircraft their way. I don't think I will be able to do that. But all the aircraft from Lexington, they are coming. They are? Yes, they are. They are coming. Good. Let's see if we can get eyes on the enemy ships and maybe have a look how this fire is looking from their perspective. They're right over there. I can't double click on them while I'm in that view, of course. This... what is this? Miyoko and another Miyoko. Two identical cruisers. Okay, good to know. She is returning fire. And she has a lot of guns. But we now see splashes around her. And even a hit. There's been a hit here. Nice. Very nice. Keep shooting, but damn, she has many guns and they are fast firing too. I don't think it would be wise to underestimate the Miyoko. I think that this thing packs quite a punch. So that's why I'm a little bit careful with my ships. I don't want to lose any ships now. We have basically already won. This is just a bonus. Good. More and more shells are impacting around this thing. And, well, same thing once again. No sound for the main guns. But it doesn't matter. It's just a placeholder after all. Yeah, more hits in the stern. Nice. Hopefully knocking out propulsion or steering. That would be very nice. Slow this thing down. Make it easier for our bombers. To finish her off. Let's have a quick look at my boats. New Orleans. You are not receiving fire. I guess that Dewey is the one receiving all the attention. Huh. Yeah, looks like it. That's a lot of fire. That must be the Miyoko shooting at it. Well, the New Orleans is returning fire. Chester, nothing yet. Portland, nothing yet. Astoria, nothing yet. So the New Orleans is the only one in range right now. There's a nice cruiser. Let's see how the situation is looking. Yeah, the enemy fleet is within gun range of at least one of my ships. I might adjust my course a little bit more. Get a few more degrees to the north. Keep us in range. Get us a little bit closer. And aircraft will soon be here. And this is where we will end today's episode. Once again, a lot has happened. The enemy has lost his second carrier, but the cruiser force still remains. Will my attacking aircraft be able to sink the ships? Or will my cruisers have to do the heavy lifting? Will my aircraft be able to sink the enemy cruisers before the sun sets and they can't fly anymore? Will I be able to finish the battle without further losses? Find out next time. For now, I want to thank you very much for watching today's episode. I really do hope that you have enjoyed it and that you are looking forward to the next one. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this little series and if you like it. Did any of you support the Task Force Admiral Kickstarter? And also make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss out on any future amazing episodes. Once again, thank you very much for your time and I really look forward to seeing you again. Until then, have some really great days and goodbye.